Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Avi Hannon. More than 77 million Americans have already cast their vote in this 2024 election, and millions more are heading to the polls on Tuesday. Both Vice President and Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump have spent the weekend making their cases to voters across several key battleground states. It's our top story at 10.
On this final Sunday before Election Day, Vice President Harris making several stops across the battleground state of Michigan, speaking to the congregation at a black church in Detroit.
I see a nation determined to turn the page on hatred and division and chart a new way forward.
Then stopping at two local businesses before heading to a rally at Michigan State University.
America is ready for a fresh start. Ready for a new way forward where we see our fellow American not as an enemy, but as a neighbor.
Former President Donald Trump with stops Sunday in Pennsylvania and North Carolina.
And if we let this slip away, we should have our heads examined.
Trump then traveling to Macon, Georgia.
We're just 2 days away from what will be the most important political event in the history of our country.
While polls still show Harris and Trump locked in a dead heat, a Des Moines Register poll of likely voters in Iowa, a red-leaning state, shows Harris with a 3-point lead. Although that lead is within the margin of error, Trump's team is on defense, calling the poll an outlier. The former president is already disparaging the election, falsely claiming cheating would be the only way he could lose.
The ones that should be locked up are the ones that cheat on these horrible elections.
State and federal officials say U.S. elections have only gotten more secure. Harris arguing Trump is trying to sow doubt amongst voters.
It is meant to distract from the fact that we have and support free and fair elections in our country. We did in 2020. He lost.
On the final day before millions cast their ballots, both candidates will hold campaign events Monday in Pittsburgh, hoping to win over voters in the must-win state of Pennsylvania. Allison Cossack, ABC News, New York.
And early voting is still going on in all three Siouxland states. In South Dakota, people can still vote either early in person at the county auditor's office or absentee ballot by mail. In-person early voting goes from now through November 4th, and people have until 5 p.m. on Monday to request an absentee ballot. The deadline for the absentee ballots are to be delivered to the county auditor's office by 7 p.m. on Tuesday. Over in Nebraska, residents cannot request an early voting ballot to be mailed anymore. The deadline was October 25th. People can still vote early at county election office through Monday, and early voting ballots must be turned into the county election office by 8 p.m. on November 5th. Finally, in Iowa, voters cannot request an absentee ballot to be mailed because the deadline for that was October 21st. In-person absentee voting is available through November 4th. Absentee ballots must be turned into the county auditor's office by 8 p.m. on Tuesday. And here in Woodbury County, people can vote early at the county courthouse and at the Long Lines Family Rec Center here in Sioux City. They can vote tomorrow, 8 a.m. through 4:30. And 7 measures are on the general election ballot for residents in South Dakota. One of them is Referred Law 21. This is actually Senate Bill 201 that passed in the state legislature earlier this year. The bill would allow counties to impose a $1 per foot subcharge on CO2 pipelines. The legislation requires those pipelines to be buried at a minimum depth along with business operations beginning within 5 years of the easement. Days after the bill passed, opponents organized a petition to get enough signatures to make it a ballot measure. Supporters say this is a market opportunity, while opponents say the bill is deceitful.
This will be entirely taxpayer funded. So don't tell me about the new property taxes you're going to create that'll be beneficial to the state of South Dakota when it's the taxpayers that are paying it.
There's no land that's being taken here. This is an easement. I still own the land. I still pay property tax on the land. I am I can still graze the land.
In the ballot measures comes as Summit Carbon Solutions is proposing an estimated 2,000-mile CO2 pipeline run through several states, including more than 400 miles in South Dakota. And on Monday, Sioux City City Council are expected to discuss a grant application for the Big Sioux River Levee expansion project. The application is for the Iowa Homeland Security and Emergency Management Levy Improvement Program. City documents indicate the city is asking for $865,000 to cover half of the estimated design and construction costs. The funds require a 50% cost share by the city, and while property acquisition costs are not covered under grant money, the project would extend the Big Sioux River left bank levee system that runs north along River Drive. It would replace the area used for temporary sandbag levee area during flooding to lower the chances of flooding in the Riverside neighborhood. And next week, the Woodbury County Board of Supervisors will be discussing a standardized memorandum of understanding template procedures for 6 county union. It's to make sure the improved benefit in the employee handbook in regards to health insurance upon retirement and sick leave payments are available. County documents indicate funding for the improved benefit will come from department budgets first rather than the health fund. This comes as supervisors passed the improved benefit in the handbook on Tuesday, which changed the sick leave payout from 15% or $3,000 after 25 years of service to 28% or $5,000 in 15 years of service. There's also the option of a year of single insurance paid if the retiree has 500 hours in their sick leave accrual bank. And Governor Kim Reynolds and the Iowa Department of Education announced on October 31st they were awarding a multi-year competitive grant from the U.S. Department of Education that's totaling over $24 million. The money would go towards advancing effective evidence-based literacy practices and interventions across the state. Reynolds said that, quote, "Reading is an essential skill that sets students up for success in schools and beyond," end quote. The Iowa Department of Education grant builds upon the recent legislation by Governor Reynolds to support personalized reading plans for K through 6. And it's that time of the year where folks might see some unwanted house guests. With cold weather approaching, that means that mice season is here. Mice can enter in the tiniest cracks in your home, looking for both warmth and food. For any residents not knowing how to take care of their situation or want to prevent an infestation, the best thing they can do is simply call your local exterminators.
A lot of times people leave their garage doors open for just a few extra minutes while they're loading things in and out. Mouse can easily run in there that way. Then a lot of times, people are having backyard patio parties, doors are getting open and shut often, and something can get stuck in real quick and easy that way.
And some tips you can do to prevent having to call an exterminator for mice problems is to use caulk or cement or seal up any holes or crevices inside or outside your house, and to make sure your garage is always closed when you are not using it. Well, switching gears, join me now as meteorologist Maggie Warren. So Maggie, what's it looking like out there?
Well, you probably wanted to have those garages closed today. It was a dreary and damp day. We did see some showers continuing through the day, some mist and some fog that is even continuing into the overnight hours. Not so much here in Sioux City as we see clear conditions on the Ho-Chunk Center camera. Not seeing any rainfall at this point, with that temperature still at 61 degrees, 50s through Cherokee and into Storm Lake. Even as cool as 55 up there in Estherville, 60s down through southern Siouxland, and it's these areas we're seeing some fog continuing as we see those humidities between 80 and 100%. Those 100% really up there through northern and northeastern portions of Siouxland, rather. And that's where we find those reduced visibilities between 1 mile there in Estherville, 4 in Spencer, and the only exception there, 1 mile in Yankton and 2 in Sioux Falls. And with those reduced visibilities, we do have some dense fog advisories through 6 a.m. for our Monday morning, and that now does include Woodbury County and then Dakota and Dixon counties, as well as all of our southeast South Dakota counties. Those just issued here fairly recently. Only counties not within that in Iowa are the counties of Harrison and Monona. So definitely going to want to keep an eye out for those quickly reduced visibilities as you're heading out in the morning. Use those low beams instead of the high beams, and we do continue to have that steady flow of moisture into the area off of some southeasterly winds that have picked up a bit more between about 5 and 15 miles an hour. A little calmer off to our west, but we do continue to see those a bit breezy. Those have spiked up a bit more through our evening hours as we see more cloud cover continuing to fill back in, some showers starting to pop in through the southern extent of Siouxland down there towards the Tacoma area, and those will continue to lift into the area as we take a look at our storm, or that's regional satellite and radar. You see that low pressure, the main factor in those showers and storms continuing to develop. We're watching this cold front that will slide through into our Monday morning. That's going to bring showers and storms that lift into the area into very early Monday morning. So might get woken up by some thunder, a few flashes of lightning as we see heavy pockets of rain that continues to pivot off to our east and to our northeast as we continue to see showers and clearing conditions into Monday morning. Once we get past sunrise, we really see those showers starting to wrap up, but we see another cluster of some shower activity starting to filter into the area into Monday afternoon and evening. So a little bit of dry time for our Monday before another round of showers and even some storms. We see those continuing to slide in as we head towards Monday night and Tuesday morning, continuing to see some heavy pockets of rain out there for us. Upwards of an inch of rain in some spots. Those heavier totals going to be focused out towards southern portions of Siouxland. 56 degrees for tonight, cloudy with some showers and storms that do continue to build back in. 53 for our Tuesday, an early morning high for Monday of 59. And then seeing those temperatures in the mid and upper 50s through the rest of the week. Going to be very fall-like, and we finally get into some drier weather once again once we get towards Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But we see more shower chances building into next weekend before we have a drier and milder day next Monday for Veterans Day. So if you have those Veterans Day plans, looking great, but not so much if you're heading out to the polls this Tuesday. Gonna need those umbrellas.
Yeah, absolutely, Maggie. I know it's gonna be dry in the future, but right now I'm definitely